How's everybody's day going? I thought this would be fun to do. So as many of you know, I just recently got back from San Diego from Social Media Marketing World. And while I didn't get to attend as many sessions as I would have liked because I spent a lot of my time in the halls networking and meeting people, I wanted to make a commitment to myself to go through a bunch of these sessions and then share my top takeaways with you guys. So I thought I would start with, I was super networking, but it was worth it. Yeah. So I'm committing to myself that I'm going to try and go through a lot of the sessions, at least, the sessions that make sense for me to listen to. And then part of me doing this is I figure if I commit to you guys that I'll share my top 3 to 5 takeaways depending on, what it is. I mean, some of these might be longer, some might be shorter. We'll see how it goes. But I thought because, in case you don't know, I'm wearing my unemployable shirt today. And I thought since I'm wearing this shirt today that I would talk about my friend's session that actually gave me this shirt. So he is the host of the Solopreneur Hour podcast, and obviously he's branded as unemployable. So I'm basically going to give you my top takeaways from the art of the interview that Michael O'Neill did as a workshop on Wednesday. So this one was a little bit longer of a session. I did want to mention that he's probably the only one that opened up his session with drums. So if you know Michael at all, he's a drummer. He's amazing, and I think it's pretty cool that he did that. It was actually a little bit of a challenge for me to narrow this down to the top 5. He did such a great job and shared so much good information that it was hard to narrow it down. So the agenda is, obviously, top 5 takeaways. So number 1 is landing amazing guests and how to land amazing guests for your podcast or live video, whatever it is that you're doing. And mainly, my main takeaway from this was, especially if you're at a conference or some sort of, networking event, is to actually network. So that means go out and talk to people, meet people, get introduced to people, break free of your shell. A lot of people, I feel like, are either introverts or just, not necessarily sure how to start a conversation with somebody that they see as potentially maybe out of their league. So, the thing is let's just say, for example, you're at an event like Social Media Marketing World, and one of your friends is talking to somebody that you want to meet. So go over there, stand next to them when there's a break in the conversation. One of the things you can do is just say, hey, could you introduce me? And, the main thing here is to just ask. If you don't ask, then you're never going to get it, right? So even if you're afraid or you think that person is too well known or too big for you to talk to, what I have honestly found this was my 3rd year at Social Media Marketing World, and things have definitely changed in my life. I remember, I'll give you guys a little story, but my first year there, all I wanted was to meet Guy Kawasaki. And Sarah, I know you remember this because you were with me when it happened. We were standing at the bar to get a drink, and I saw a guy standing over in the corner, and I was like, oh my God, there he is. And, I was nervous to go say hi, but I did it and, got selfies with him and all that. And, it is a little bit scary, but you just have to go for it. If that's what you want, you just have to go for it. So the next thing I say, that I didn't say it, Michael said it actually, but as far as landing amazing guests, is you have to ask them. If you don't ask, you're never going to get it. So just ask the question, what's the worst that happens is they say no. Okay, so the next thing that he said was research your guests. Basically, do your research and not just looking at their website. Maybe, and I mean this in the very best way, but go Facebook stalk them maybe. Find out, do they have a dog? Do they have kids? What are their hobbies? Find out something that not everybody knows about them and get them to talk about that on your show. So really do your research. The third thing I got from this was to have a pre-interview checklist. So you want to make sure, I'm sure once you've done, your interview or your podcast or whatever so many times, you kind of have it down to a science. Like I would assume JLD probably doesn't use an interview checklist, but definitely in the beginning, you want to make sure that you are getting everything done and making sure that you're talking about everything that you want. Pre-interview, during the interview, and post-interview. So you want to make sure that you're obviously, get on and greet your guest and, make sure that everything's working technically, that their mic's working. Write down any applicable links. So like their links to their social sites that they want to promote, their website, any other, events or, if they're selling a book or whatever it is that they really want to promote on the podcast. So you want to make sure that you've got a pre-interview checklist. You may want to have, some questions written down for you to use throughout the podcast, and then potentially a post checklist, that is what you need to go through in order to get the podcast ready to go live. As far as like your social sharing, if you're going to send out emails, however it is you're going to promote the event. So the fourth thing is to promote, and promote. So you want to make sure that you are promoting your podcast and sharing it on all the socials, letting people know that it's out there and available. The other thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is asking your guests to promote the podcast. Because if you don't ask them, the likelihood of them actually promoting it is slim. Even though it's promoting them, it's not something that they necessarily think about. So you want to make sure that you ask them to promote it, and if at all possible, maybe even provide them with, some tweets and some images and some Facebook posts and, stuff that makes it easy for them to share it out. And obviously the link. So that's number 4. So the number 5, and this is actually my very favorite, that Michael talked about, and I can't wait to use this. So as many of you may or may not know, I am working on an event for Social Media Day Denver. And when Michael said this, I said, oh my God, I have to remember this because I'm going to be emceeing the event. So I'll be introducing everybody. And this is my favorite thing that he said, and it's the art of the introduction. So what you want to do when you're getting ready to introduce somebody, and I know Jed used this because he was actually moderating the live video, right? It was a live video room for Social Media Marketing World, and I know Michael gave him this tip, and he killed it. So the tip is to build up the person, edify them, talk about the person, all the things they've done. Build them up as much as you possibly can, but don't say their name until the very last 2 words. So you talk all about them, and then the last thing you do is you say, okay, I want to welcome to the stage or welcome to the podcast, Jed Record. So I know it is. I'm going to have to practice the art of the introduction because you want to say their name. But I think doing what Michael suggests, it really does build them up, and then everybody's excited about them coming on. So I want to share with you, and I know that probably a lot of you that are on here right now already know Michael and are connected with him. But if you're not, you need to go check him out. He is on all the socials at Solo Hour. And if you want any more of the art of the interview, he actually has a course that's extremely reasonable, and he offers all kinds of great information. If you go to artoftheinterview.skype, .co. It's artoftheinterview.co. And again, that's with Michael O'Neill. Mia, I'm super excited to see you. I was talking about you earlier today. So for those of you that don't know, well, I mean, I talked about it a minute ago, but the Social Media Day Denver we are working on for June 30th, and Mia Boss is going to be there. Super excited to have her. We've also got some other amazing people that are coming into town and or live here in Denver and are going to be there. So hopefully you got something out of it. Again, like I said, my favorite was the art of the intro, and like Jed said, it's hard to do, but you build them up and then leave their name until the very end. So anyway, I can't wait to see everybody on June 30th. It's going to be amazing. And, some good things happened in San Diego. And so hopefully everybody can join us in Denver in June. It's going to be fun. We've got some big surprises lined up. I'm hoping to have the website live in the next week or so, and when that happens, tickets will be on sale. So we're gearing up for an awesome Social Media Day Denver. I'll be back in the next, couple days, I guess. I gotta figure out how often I can do this. I really like to get through some of these sessions since I didn't get to go to as many sessions as I would have liked to. Hope everybody has a great night, and I will see you soon.